At Christmas, my sister introduced me to her boyfriend with a mocking smile. "This is the failure of our family." My parents laughed. He stayed quiet. Then he said, "Interesting, because you're fired," and we broke up. My sister has called me a failure my whole life. She's 3 years older than me, and nothing I ever did was good enough. She graduated at the top of her class. I barely passed. She landed a fancy corporate job right after college. I worked at a bakery for 6 years before starting my own small floral design business out of my apartment. To my family, that made me a loser. It didn't matter that I was happy. It didn't matter that I paid my own bills and loved what I did. I wasn't successful in the way they understood success, so I wasn't anything. Last Christmas was at my parents' house. I almost didn't go, but my mum guilt-tripped me into it, saying it mattered because my sister Vanessa was bringing a new boyfriend, and she wanted the whole family there. I arrived on time with a tray of hand-arranged winter centerpieces I'd made, little gifts for the table. My mum took them without a thank you, and set them on the counter behind the store-bought desserts. Classic. When Vanessa arrived, she walked in like she owned the place. Designer coat, perfect hair, a man trailing behind her I didn't recognize. He was tall, quiet, well-dressed. He looked around the room, taking everything in, but didn't say much. Vanessa grabbed his arm and pulled him toward me. I was standing near the fireplace trying to stay out of the way. "This is my little sister," Vanessa announced loudly so everyone could hear. She had that smile on her face, the one she gets right before she says something cruel. "This is the failure of our family. She's got a little flower business out of her apartment. Isn't that cute?" My mum laughed from the kitchen. My dad chuckled from his recliner and waved like Vanessa had told a genuinely funny joke. Even my aunt, who was visiting, smiled and shook her head like I was some kind of charity case, an oddity everyone tolerated. I didn't say anything. I was used to it. I just stood there and waited for it to pass, like I always did. But the boyfriend didn't laugh, didn't smile. He just looked at my parents, then at my aunt, then at Vanessa. His face was completely unreadable. Vanessa didn't notice. She kept going. Seriously, she's almost 30 and arranges flowers for a living. Can you imagine? I keep telling her to get a real job, but she doesn't listen. She's always been stubborn. The boyfriend finally spoke. His voice was calm and low. "What's your name?" He was looking at me. I told him. He nodded slowly. "And you have your own business?" "I do custom floral design, mostly for weddings and events. It's going well." He smiled slightly. "That's impressive. Starting something from nothing takes real nerve." Vanessa laughed nervously. She didn't like where this was going. "Babe, it's not really a business. She works out of her kitchen table. It's more like a hobby." He turned to look at her. The smile had disappeared. "A hobby that pays her bills and makes people happy at their weddings." He paused. "What exactly is it you do again?" Vanessa blinked. "Do you mean, you know what I do? I work at your company." He nodded. "Right. You work in my marketing department. You've been there about 8 months. You're on a performance improvement plan right now because you missed 4 deadlines last quarter and blamed your team for all of it." The room went completely silent. My mum stopped moving in the kitchen. My dad set his glass down. Vanessa's face went red. "That's not fair. Those deadlines weren't realistic. My team didn't support me properly," he continued. "You also charged $1,650 in personal meals to the company card and claimed they were client dinners. HR flagged it last week. I was going to deal with it after the holidays, but I guess now works." Vanessa's voice went sharp and shaky. "You're embarrassing me in front of my family." He looked around the room. "You just called your sister a failure in front of me, in front of everyone, and everyone laughed. Nobody defended her. Nobody said a word." Looked back at Vanessa. "I've been sitting here for 10 minutes watching how you people treat her, and I've heard enough." Vanessa grabbed his arm. "Can we talk about this in private?" He pulled his arm away. "No, you wanted to show off for your family, so here's my presentation. You're fired. HR will send the paperwork Monday and we're done. I'm not going to date someone who treats her own sister like garbage and thinks it's entertainment." He turned to me. "It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope your business keeps growing." And he walked out the front door. Nobody moved for what felt like an hour. Vanessa started crying. My mum rushed to comfort her. My dad glared at me like it was somehow my fault. Vanessa pointed at me through her tears. "This is because of you. You ruined everything." I hadn't said a single word. He saw who you are all on his own, grabbed my coat and left. I didn't stay for dinner. I didn't say goodbye. I just drove home and sat in my kitchen, surrounded by floral orders that still needed finishing. The following week, Vanessa called me screaming. Said I destroyed her career and her relationship. Said I must have planned this somehow. Said I'd been jealous of her my whole life and this was my revenge. Let her scream until she ran out of breath. Then I hung up. For as long as I could remember, my family had called me the failure. Turns out I was never the problem. I never had been.